Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Peace and Love, the Pulse of Humanity. And Pulse stands for peace, unity, love, collaboration, and embrace. And today I have with me somebody I've known for quite a number of years, Michael Santonato. Michael Santonato and I met at an international training and development company where we were both working, I think, on what people would say mindset, but also an emotional set kind of thing. Anyways, getting ourselves to our next level is the best way to say that. And Michael and I have come together and gone apart throughout the years. But all that being said, I couldn't tell you everything that's in his bio, so I'm going to read it. Everything changed when Michael knew he was going to marry the love of his life, Jessica, in 2016. Just after moving in with her and her 3 kids, he was hit with the fact that he would soon be a provider for them, financially, as well as being responsible for providing an education and safety net for many years to come. His parents were bank managers, and he's the youngest of 4 siblings, and he learned all the essentials, the basic of personal finances, as well as how to invest correctly by the time he was 18. Wow, that's off to you. By 21, he had his first rental property, and by 23, he was investing heavily in the stock market. But he realized that his family and him were about to embark on a lifelong relationship of learning and growth together. Naturally, that would include money and finance, just like his parents taught him. So that's when he scheduled a meeting with a financial advisor, and both him and Jessica got pressed to the gap of where they wanted to be and where they were. And it was a wake-up call for them. They made some changes. They turned their situation around in a short period of time. And that experience was so important and so valuable to him that he left his career as a matchmaker, and it became his newest passion. And he's entered the world of money and helps as many family and individuals as he can. There's like at least another paragraph worth, but I'm just going to go there because everybody wants what you have. All that knowledge, all that finance, and how do I deal with managing the finances for my family as we're going through this challenge right now. So what can you share with us, both from your experience and through what we're going through right now?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Mimi. Great to be with you today, and thank you for sharing this information and giving people avenue to find out great information and education at this time when we've all got tons of time on our hands, just at home watching Netflix. But it's important to grow and learn, and this is a great downtime to do that. So thanks for providing that. So to answer your question, this is a great time for people to come back to the fundamentals, right? To make sure that they have their bases covered, personally and financially. This is a great wake-up call. You mentioned in my bio how I had a wake-up call several years ago, but right now a lot of people are having a collective wake-up call because they're missing the basics, right? Like, at least 3 months of their expenses saved up in an emergency savings fund. If you read any basic kind of personal finance books, that's one of the first things. And the other thing is sound and safe investments that will weather the test of time. Another piece is emotional control when the markets go down. So recessions do happen, right? We had one just 12 years ago, 2008. So those of us that have lived through it, we've seen that the markets dropped and tanked, investments dropped and tanked, but then we've had nothing but 10, 12 years of consistent growth since then. So this is a great time for people to inform themselves, educate themselves, bolster their financial education, and hopefully come out of this with new priorities. When this whole thing does turn around, hopefully people have the right priorities in place, proper savings and investments, their financial house in order.
Okay, so I think that there's a lot of people that would like to be in a place where they can invest, but a lot of them are not. They're still living paycheck to paycheck, or they're worrying about, now they're trying to catch up and say, okay, well, how do I why should I invest when I could save something for the future? Like, do I invest? Do I save something towards my 3 months, whatever? And they're left in this cauldron of not knowing what to do, and then they freeze up and they do nothing.
Right.
Some actions, maybe you can give us some actions that person, the one who's living paycheck to paycheck, who's lost their job because of COVID-19, who doesn't know how they're paying their expenses next month. Some of those things that people, some actions that maybe they can take on.
Yeah, so it's a great question. What can people do right now? I want to first tell you that many, like CIBC did a study, I think it was last year, and they found that something like 67% of Canadians were still living paycheck to paycheck. Now, that's a huge portion of the population, but that's not only just most people. You know, that is something like 22 million, just approximately, let's say 22 million people. Well, what that means is, you know, they're counting on their income paycheck to paycheck, and they don't have a surplus income to take care of their needs, or they don't have surplus stash of cash, let's say in savings account, for example, to take care of their needs. But even those people, they can still invest. This is the key. Even those people can still invest, because all you need to do is set up a monthly or a bi-weekly or even weekly small amount, $25 a week, $100 a week, whatever you can afford, to go into a savings and or investment fund. And there's lots of ways you can do that. You can do that with financial advisors. You can do that with banks. You can even do that with some private companies online. And a lot of banks have changed their platforms, their apps and their websites, so that you can segregate and have different accounts. You couldn't do this 5 years ago even. Right? But technology's become so great that you can put $50 aside into an emergency account, and then put $100 aside a month into an investment account. And you can even label them and name them different things. You can have your vacation getaway account, which is, you know, $10 a week. Like, anyone can start. The point is to start small. So even those that are living paycheck to paycheck, doesn't matter if you're making 30 grand a year, 60, 70, 80 grand a year, everyone can and should be saving a small portion every week, every paycheck. Okay, so if you don't have that set up, then do that, definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah, so I just want to put something in. It doesn't matter how small it is, even if you have a week where it's $1, because it's the mindset of saving something for the future that's really important to your brain. Because maybe next month it'll be $5 or $50 or $500, doesn't really matter. But you want to be in that mindset of saving.
That's right. And something I realized early on in my financial advising career was that savings was a habit. This is a very key piece. Savings is actually a habit. It's not a thing you get to sometime, someday. It's not something you do one-off. It's actually a habit, right? Like smoking is a habit. Eating healthy is a habit. Going to the gym is a habit. And savings is one of those things that you can automate your savings and investments. And this is one of the keys, that you want to automate it so that you don't have to do it manually. My problem is I can't eat healthy because I have to do it manually. I have to cook the meal. You know, if somebody, maybe Uber should offer like an auto schedule pickup service to take people to the gym. Then I would get to the gym. Once I'm in the gym, I'm great, right? Once I'm in the gym, I'm set, I'm solid. But getting to the gym is the biggest problem. So if Uber had like an auto pickup feature function, I'm their first customer. Because if that Uber's coming and I've paid for it, guess what? I'm going to the gym. So savings is a habit.
Well, you know, you can set up your Uber to pick you up at a specific time. You could schedule that out anytime.
Well, I might have to do that because I can't get to the gym, right? But I can save and invest because I have the emails delivered to my inbox of, you know, different investments. I have the automatic savings program set up, and I get the statements, and I go there, you know, and I'm actually thankfully unconsciously competent in my habit of checking my investments regularly, monthly, you know, my statements and things like that. So you asked, what can people do right now? You know, some people are in different places. definitely everybody right now should be, that's not within income right now, should be claiming EI. Go to the websites. There's lots of government help and government focus right now. You know, Trudeau just announced $2,000 a month for those who need it. Not everybody's going to qualify, but a lot of people will. They're going to have that website up in any day now. So get ready to go do that. Stay attuned to the Government of Canada websites. Complete your taxes right now. Getting a tax refund is a great way to get some money back in your account. Okay, you want some money, you need some cash right now, do your taxes, have your accountant or do it yourself. Right now you can do them, get a couple $100, get a couple $1,000 on a tax refund. That'll put some cash in your account.
So I'm going to ask you a little bit now, so that was for the paycheck to paycheck person, but I'm also going to ask you a question, maybe a little bit more advanced in the finance world. There was this train of thought that I heard from a finance expert that said that you should try and defer as many payments as you humanly can and take that money and now invest it because of where our market is.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
God willing, that market's going to be growing.
Yes.
I mean, it might, yes. Anyways, can you speak to that?
For sure.
That a little bit?
Yeah, that's a great point. So it doesn't matter if you're in business or if you're just working, you know, a job for yourself. Cash flow is the most important thing, right? Cash flow and having a positive cash flow is extremely important. So if you can defer payments right now, do that. If you can, and everybody should be talking to their landlords, their mortgage companies. You know, this morning I thought about calling my auto insurance guy and just, you know, like, I'm not going to be driving for the next, he's probably going to say no, but you want to be creative and you want to have those conversations, mortgage companies, landlords, and just let them know and ask and see what you can get and see what you can do, because many of them are doing that and it's in the news. So it can be done. And a lot of companies are going to, you know, be doing this for people because they want to retain the client. They want to retain the customer, retain the business, right? So you treat your customers well and they'll be with you for a long period of time. So that is a great point. Defer your payments as much as you can. Take the money now and invest. I don't think we're through this just yet. I think the prices will continue to go back down. You know, they've gone up in the past few days with all this stimulus talk and these bills in the government they're going to put forward.
Right.
But I still think that it's going to go down further. So the number one rule to investing is buy low, sell high. Things are low, you know, now's a good time to buy. So for those savvy investors or the ones that are trained enough and they want a good deal, this will be a great time to buy, because this could be, you know, this could be 2008, 2009 that we're looking at again. I sure don't think it is cause for panic and cause for, you know, buying up all the toilet paper on the planet, which is happening for some reason. But it is a time of opportunity, and buy low, sell high. So
I saw a post on Facebook recently that said you can either be smart and invest or not so smart and buy toilet paper.
I saw a very different one, but a very good one, where it's Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street, and he's on the phone screaming, and it says, rich people are out buying stocks right now when poor people are out buying toilet paper.
Right, yeah. Must have been the same post because I was paraphrasing that.
Oh, okay. Very good. I'm okay with being honest, you know, brutally honest. You know, in 2010, when the economy started to pick up, I saw a great YouTube video of a stockbroker that made it on some major news station, and they were asking him, like, you know, do you think things are coming around again? What do you think is going to happen? Is it going to come back up? Are we out of this? Are we through this? And he's like, yeah, I think we're through this. We're already seeing the growth. And he said, frankly, I hope it happens again. And the newscasters were like, what? What did you just say? And the stockbroker said, yeah, I hope it happens again. I hope we get another recession tomorrow because everything is on sale. That's where the money's made. You know, everything's going to go back up just like it is right now. I wish it would happen again. I would buy more. I'd buy more, buy more. So
for the person who would like to start investing and hasn't before and wouldn't even know where to start, is that something that you can support them with?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm really clear on what your services are. I just know that you're a finance expert. So can you talk from that, not from, this is not a sales conversation we're having right now, but from giving people an avenue on where to maybe grow their money at this time when they're now treading in deep water, and they know they have to survive now, but they also know they have to survive 3 months from now.
Right. Yes. So let's talk about, in a nutshell, what my services are and what I can guide on. So all forms of investment and investing and savings, and then the general financial picture, and protection and insurance, debt relief, debt elimination, achievement of goals and dreams, retirement, kids' education. Doesn't matter if it's saving for that new house, saving and investing for retirement, any form of savings and investments. I can help people start their plans, contribute to their plans, look at the different rates of return that are possible, the different rates of return that are out there from different providers. I can share different portfolios, portfolio types and styles. So that's kind of a big picture. Let me simplify it and say that there's a financial house, right? Just like there's a house, people are living in houses and buildings right now. Every building and house is built the same, and it all starts with the foundation. After the foundation, you have the first level, then the second level, then the third level, and then let's say the roof. Most people try and build their financial house top down, which doesn't make any sense. You never see a house being built from the top down.
Right.
We have all this growth and development in the GTA right now, and they start by digging deep underground. You don't see it, and then they lay the foundation.
Right.
Then above the foundation is the first level. That's what we see, the first level. So the foundation of the financial house is income. You have to have income. You have to have production. You have to produce something. Okay, in the Bible, I'm not religious, but I heard that in the Bible, the 3 laws to wealth were produce, reproduce, and then distribute. Okay, so first you have to produce something. So production, okay, having an income. Then you have to protect that income. It's foolish not to protect that income since you're going to live on it for the rest of your life, right? Everyone needs income to pay for groceries, rent, internet, cell phone, utility bill, car insurance, all the things we need. So protecting that income with different kinds of insurance that protect from sickness, accident, death, illness, injury, all those things. And then after that, savings and investments. Sorry, no, actually it's debt relief. If you have debt, you need to relieve yourself of debt because debt is what really kills people. And then savings and investments. And then after that, goals and dreams on the top. So don't build your financial house top down because that's not how houses are built. Houses are built bottom up. You have to take care of yourself, your family, your needs, get rid of the stuff that's killing you, debt, and then focus on savings and investments, and then your goals and dreams.
Okay, so for the person who's out of a job right now, but might be able to put some money on the side for an investment, where do they go and how do they start that?
Well, there's a lot of ways to invest money and save. I'm not sure that someone that just lost their job should be thinking about investing right now. Like,
okay,
it would be good, like I said, now because you want to buy low, sell high, and now is a great opportunity. But I'm just thinking about the mental state of someone that just lost their job. You know, they're either in one of two places. They're probably thinking about getting a new job or getting a business or getting a source of income. Or if things get really bad, they're thinking about doing some, usually that's how crime starts, right? That's how crime starts, unfortunately. So hopefully people that, do not have a job or a source of income, they can lean on friends and family. Just get a small loan maybe to tie them over for a few months and then make the commitment to pay that back. And then obviously be right on top of EI and getting EI, employment insurance, and the government offer whatever they're offering. And then once you emotionally feel solid, stable, then from a place of clarity, then you can think about investing. Because I just don't think investing would be on someone's mind who just lost their job. But saving should be, okay? So let's say I just lost my job right now. Sorry about that. Let's say I lost my job right now. I have 2 mouths to feed in the house. I have a couple $100s in the bank. The first thing I should do is probably get a loan from someone that I know, like, trust, family, friends, parents, anyone that can really help me at this time of need, that I have close proximity with, okay?
right,
And then I would look at, once I have that loan, something to tie me and my family over for a few months, because we think this will at least be 2 months, this whole shebang, right?
yeah,
Then I'm going to look at finding a new source of income, okay? And thankfully that can be done, pretty easy, because there is work still happening, and good businesses are always looking for good people. And now we've been through this for a few months now, that now we know, okay, the government's going to help out. Businesses know how to work from home. So, business is not going to stop. A lot of businesses have stopped, but there are still businesses out there that are looking, that are hiring, that are operating. And really, Uber Eats and Lyft and these DoorDash and Foodora and Skip the Dishes, there's so many companies right now. These are really godsends right now. These are really amazing blessings right now, because takeout is on the rise right now. Like, a lot of restaurants have shut down and a lot of restaurants have closed their doors, but man, takeout, like, talk about stocks to invest in right now. Probably Uber, definitely going to come out strong probably from this quarter, because they've doubled down on the customer loyalty that they're building, because from the Uber Eats and the deliveries and stuff like that. And a lot of them in some parts of the world have even offered free delivery, which is really going to build customer loyalty.
Yeah.
But the drivers are still getting paid. How extraordinary is that?
Yeah, that's cool. This would also be a time for people to make phone calls to their creditors and ask for of payments.
Absolutely.
And deferred doesn't mean you'll never have to pay it. It just means that you're deferring a payment so that you have some cash flow right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To a later date.
That's right.
There was something. Oh, and I was also heard that you can also speak to, let's say, a credit card company or something like that, and you can ask them to lower your interest rate at the same time.
Oh, yes, definitely great opportunity. Great time. Call your creditors if you have credit card statements, lines of credit. Call them. Car loans, school loans, absolutely right now. And if they even think of saying no, just say, listen, I really think you should give this some second thought. Take a minute, call your supervisor. You don't want to be one of those people that gets talked about on like P.U.L.C.E, right? Somebody on social media is blowing up right now, getting really mad at P.U.L.C, the grocery chain, because they're charging $30 for Lysol wipes.
Yes.
And Lysol wipes are usually $3.
Yeah.
That's an extraordinarily ridiculous. That's 1,000% like markup. You know what I mean? That's just so P.U.L.C, if they don't apologize on social media, this is the world we live in. If they don't come up with an apology very soon on social media, they're going to lose a ton of business. They're going to lose boatloads of business, boatloads. Because I can go on Amazon. Maybe Amazon's going to charge me $10, but like, I can still get it at less than that.
And it's not $30.
Yeah. So you have right now, the customer always has power, right? Going back to calling your creditors. As a customer, you always have power. You vote with your dollar, okay? And in this time of social media, quick sharing, quick viral things go, this P.U.L.C. thing was last night. Already over 300,000 people have seen this.
Wow.
And Toronto's only got a population of like, what, 4 million, 6 million?
Yeah.
So you got power as a consumer, especially right now, given that businesses need business.
Awesome. So if people wanted to, a lot of people are getting stuff together. They're getting their together and their insurance and stuff. But if people also wanted to create a financial plan for themselves and build a house, much in the way that you did with Jessica, how would they get in touch with you to start that journey?
Yeah, my website's probably the easiest place. People can book a call with me in their calendar, in my calendar at the same time, when it works for them in their schedule. My website, michaelsantonato.com. And you can also Google me. My website's there. I'm on Facebook as well. I'm getting Facebook messages from people. People are direct messaging me on Facebook. I say those are probably the two best ways.
Okay, and we'll also put it below this video, Santonato.com.
My name might be on the bottom here for people to see how to spell it.
Oh yeah.
You'll have it anyway. So.
Yeah. I'll make sure that I put it below.
Thank you.
I think that you gave us a lot to think about and a lot to start off with. It's never too late to start saving, if it's a dollar or it's more, and there are ways to get yourself financially out of a pickle.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen in your own head. You've got to do it by talking to somebody else who's a professional and an expert and who has your best interest at heart. And if there's anything I know about Michael, he cares about his clients. So, and the people that he works with. I don't want to call it like a work thing, but like if this is somewhere where you need help, talk to him. Talk. It never hurts to talk. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for the financial perspective at this time. It's so much appreciated.
My pleasure.
Before we go?
Yeah, I created something recently. It's funny because my team and I were working on this before this recession and this whole COVID Corona thing happened. And it's just a small little, gift called 15 Ways to Save Money in 15 Minutes. So for people that are looking for ways to save right now, a lot of people are being conservative and they're penny pinching and every dollar counts right now, then that's available on my website. I can give that as a gift as well.
Oh, awesome. Okay, good. And, I'm going to ask, I would, I've already thanked you. I've cut the conversation short, but there's one question that I didn't ask you.
Sure.
I wanted to ask you, I know that you dance in the realm of Bitcoin and that kind of currency. What can you tell us about that? Is it a safe time to be investing in that? Is it not? Like, I hadn't been watching it at all. Advice you want to give anybody around that world?
For sure, yeah. I've been in that world for over 3 years now, and it is a good time. It's a good time for a number of reasons, okay? And we could actually spend a whole 20 minutes on this, but we won't. I'll wrap this up in a few minutes. Bitcoin was created.
We could actually do another call if you wanted to, another conversation at another time. But
sure.
Say your 3 minutes anyways.
Okay, no problem. So the reason, when was Bitcoin created? It was in 2009. What happened in 2009? A massive global financial crash, a massive global financial failure. The system failed the people, right? Businesses and banks got the bailouts. People got nothing, okay? Thankfully, this time around, it's different. People are actually getting money this time, right? But last time, what happened is all the banks, had a systematic crash, okay? And the government stepped in and bailed them out, along with, for some reason, the auto companies. And all the money went to the, executives of the auto companies. And so what happened is someone, we don't know who, maybe a group of people created Bitcoin, which was the world's first cryptocurrency. And the reason why they did this is because they said, we need a currency that is not controlled by one central authority, because absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? That's a very powerful quote. And so currently, the current financial system we have is one group controls everything. And obviously it's for the few, not for the many. So what they said we need is a currency that can be distributed evenly amongst people, and it won't be controlled by one central authority, and it won't suffer from inflation as well. What they'll do is they'll cut the supply that's distributed to the market in half every once in a while. So that instead of inflation going up, they're going to cut down the supply instead of the opposite of what was happening at that time, which was the governments were just printing money whenever they wanted. So they said this system will be released a little bit every now and again, every so often, and then we'll cut down that supply so as not to inflate the market. And so it's been over 10 years, and over the last 10 years, of all the assets on the planet, Bitcoin has been the best growing asset in the last 10 years. It's been the best performing asset in the last 10 years. Now, that's kind of the history in a nutshell. There's more, but I won't go into that. Why is that? Why is it a good time now to get involved in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency now? Well, because 2 weeks ago, the Federal Reserve announced they were going to give a $1.5 trillion loan to the US government to do another bailout. That was about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. The interest payments on that would be $83 million a month.
Whoa.
Who's going to pay those interest payments? Taxpayers, US taxpayers, okay? And what they're talking about now is $1 trillion a day, which I just
mind-boggling.
I just can't even, you know what I mean? So what's going to happen is Bitcoin is the alternative, where it's the opposite from all the things that are happening right now. What's happening in May is that cutting in half I talked about, that's going to happen for Bitcoin in May. And the last time that happened was 4 years ago. And it's going to happen again coming up in May. And typically, you know, just classic laws of supply and demand, that when supply goes down, price goes up. So is it a good investment right now? Without a doubt, absolutely right now. The next few months will be really, really, really interesting, and hopefully ought to be quite profitable.
Okay, and if people want to know more about how to get into that game, you're definitely the man.
Definitely. I've done lots of workshops. I've got online courses, YouTube videos, all that good stuff.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
I think it's last thing. It's just it's a rising asset class, and I'm a millennial myself. You know, kids are the future. Millennials are the future. A recent survey showed that 67% of millennials would trust a cryptocurrency over a bank.
Yes. Yes, I've heard that. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that you and we could probably go on and talk. I think we'll just have to have you come back, which would be awesome.
Sure.
Thank you again for being with me this afternoon. Really much appreciated the support that you're giving everybody at this time.
Thank you. Thanks, Mimi. Great to be part of your cause for peace, financial peace, part of peace, definitely.
My pleasure. Bye for now.
Thanks. Bye.